Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to Popternative. This is the talk show and podcast where we have digital discussions from the worlds of TV, film, sports, everything really, depending on the guest. We talk about it all. As always, I'm your host, Peter Remoliotis. All social media is PD Beats. We have a special treat for you. We are speaking to the cast members from The Sandlot about a really cool project that they've launched recently involving non-fungible tokens. I'm going to have them introduce themselves, who they play in the movie, and we will get into it. Starting with Shane.
Shane Obedzinski. I played Tommy Repeat Timmons.
Victor DiMattia. I played Timmy Timmons.
Marty York. I played Yeah.
And I'm Grant Gelt, and I played Bertram.
Gentlemen, welcome to the show. Thank you for doing this, Marty. And Grant, it's your first time on the show. Shane and Vic, I feel like I got to get you a jacket or a mug soon because, you know, you're I think the Instagram Live counts, so it's your third time on the show. So
Yeah, right. I think we're officially we're friends of the show, I think.
yeah,
at this point,
absolutely. Right? So Grant, this came out the Boys of Summer. This is really cool. You guys are doing the NFTs and everything. Can you talk a little bit about this and how this came to be?
Sure, absolutely. You know, we as the guys have been talking about doing something like this for a really long time. Yeah. You know, when we got back together for the 25th, you know, especially that day that Tom, you know, ran into somebody, you know, on the street, literally wearing the merch. You know, we've been trying to figure out the space that makes the most amount of sense for us to try to do something ourselves. You know, we've been seeing ourselves on baseball cards and T-shirts and collectibles and all this stuff, you know, our whole lives, and have never really had the right opportunity to do something, especially when we have so many of these really special moments from when we were growing up that were captured by us, by our families. So, you know, we've been aware of NFTs for quite some time, and have been dabbling in the blockchain and stuff, of course. So when it really started to translate to consumers on a regular level, we were like, well, this is the best time for us to just go ahead and do this. We had all the photos, we've got all the, you know, the relationships in place with the cast, and it was just a no-brainer to get together and to do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think it's just such a personal thing to us because it's our own like behind the scenes moments that we didn't want to just like turn everything over to somebody else. Like the cool thing about the NFT is that like we can directly release it to the fans and kind of have control over how we share it with everyone.
Absolutely.
Exactly. You know, that's been one of the things, you know, we've never been asked before how we want to be portrayed. You know, you walk by Target and you see your stuff, and that's absolutely part of what you sign up for when you get into the business, especially when you do something 30 years ago as a kid. You have no idea really. So this wasn't our way of doing anything other than putting out the stuff the way that it makes the most sense to us, and to be able to tell the story our way. And like Vic was saying, in this space, we can be really creative. We can be really flexible. We have this look into every aspect of this film, from the moments that were never seen to us in baseball rehearsals. And I think the thing that's made this film so special to everybody is that it touches home. It speaks to everybody in their own unique way. So what better format for us to bring people into our worlds and what it was like than to be able to release our photos and our art and kind of tell the story in the way that makes the most sense to us.
Yeah, absolutely. Marty, I want to ask you about this two-part question. I mean, one about this project. What was going through your mind when Grant brought this up to you? And then just a general question. I mean, you talked about, Grant mentioned about this movie, the legacy and everything. I think it's one of the best sports movies of all time, just because you haven't been on the show before. What's that like, just being part of that legacy, man?
It's been a ride, man. It's been a ride. For the most part, it's and it's crazy because a lot of this stuff started a couple of years ago, where, you know, we started doing all these signings, and the 25th anniversary was just insane. And when Grant brought this idea up to me, I was like, this is a great idea. It's I didn't know anything about NFTs. I had heard that a lot of, you know, celebrities were making quite a bit of money off this stuff. And when I heard about that, I was like, all right, well, Grant, if you know what you're doing, let's do it.
Shane is the exact Shane. You're thinking the exact same thing.
I mean,
So Grant's
it's a
the
good way for us
mastermind.
to share with our fans.
I think Grant and Vic are the kind of the masterminds of knowing what to do in this with these NFTs. And yeah, I mean, it's doing well. It's doing well from what I hear.
Yep.
So I'm glad that you you guys. We're gonna actually say at the end where to get the NFTs. Right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it's
that's awesome. That was
that's
like
not the only reason I'm on this show.
That was the first. Yeah, that's the first time in the history of my show where someone asked if they're going to be able to plug at the end.
Yeah, man. It's the NFTs are great. So and then the movie is it's incredible. It's as I said, it's been a ride, and all the things we've gotten to do, meeting the MLB baseball players during the 25th anniversary, standing next to some MLB players that have told us we're the reason they play baseball. Being to me, one of the most amazing things was Kobe Bryant was one of my all-time favorite athletes. Actually, is still to this day my all-time favorite athlete. And to have him say that we inspired his podcast was amazing. It was, I mean, I had chills when I heard that.
I know.
So
it's so it will never leave too. That's the thing. Like I think this movie will always be here. And I just wanted to go to Shane as well. Like it's never going away, and you're okay with that.
It's timeless, man. It's part of everyone's life. It's like riding a bike for some people. You never forget it. It's always going to be with you, and that's why the NFTs are so cool. We can share with the fans, our home video in an aspect of just sharing with them our memories of how we did it, and it's special to us. And the feedback from the people so far is extremely positive. So it's humbling that they care.
Yeah, absolutely. Vic, I mean, to add to that too, I mean, we were talking about this, you showed me about this, and I saw like all the visual, the graphics that you guys were putting together and the actual entry, they look so cool. You know what I mean? Like you gotta have them. I mean, what was that like, the process talking to Grant and the other guys in terms of like what the NFTs were gonna look like, Vic?
Well, I think, for us, when we started thinking about it's such an obvious one-to-one thing of like baseball cards, you know what I mean? So it's like we have these amazing photos and we were like, well, what's a fun way to release them and share these with the fans? And we go with baseball cards. Yeah. So I mean, the designs, I mean, like you said, man, we're super proud of how the set came out. It's just really, really cool. So the pictures, we made them up to look like baseball cards. They flip around and you can read on the back. There'll be like, there's little stories kind of on each one talking about what was going on at the time and just sort of little looks behind the scenes that we, mentioned on the backs of the cards. So the presentation is really cool. And there's like the different rarity levels. I don't know if you've gotten into this NFT world at all, but it's like really cool.
It's a lot. Really cool. Guys, it's a lot. Like it's just like thrown at you. You know what I mean, Grant?
It could be the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is. And, it's really interesting because, we want to be really respectful of what's going on in the art community in the NFT space too. And much like any emerging technology or emerging thing, there's going to be that boom and there's going to be that rush to the market where the perceived value of these things, it's so amorphous right now what it's going to be, but it's really important to us that we respect the space and the different types of creators and that we're in this because there's an area where it makes sense for us to be in 100%.
Here.
And
you don't want to just be in there to be in there.
Oh, let's just jump in and go. But, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier in the digital collectible space and the trading card space. It's a natural format for us to tell our stories this way. So when we were thinking about the creative, we didn't want to just put up a photo and make it look like we just grabbed a photo out from our albums and scanned it in. We wanted to be respectful of the trading card space, of the collectible space, and use it as an opportunity to talk about these moments of the film in a way that only we can. And that will make each card really unique and really special. So we were inspired by the trading cards that we grew up collecting.
Mhm.
And since this market, speaking for myself personally, I'm on the marketplace every day. I cannot wait for new drops. I'm going to be up for that Topps drop. I was bummed when I'm missing out
You're
on stuff. And
passionate
I think
about
it's
it to
speaking
start.
to the
Yeah.
well, it's speaking, I think, to the 14-year-old trading card collector in us. So, which is like exactly where we all were when we were kids making this movie. We were buying
Absolutely.
packs of cards, and it's really nice to be able to sit down and go, well, what's going to be our bubble gum in this next collection? What are we going to do next? How are we going to continue to evolve those?
And Pete,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, it is like that rush that you used to get as a kid with the trading card stuff. Like, it's addictive. Once you get into it and you like get your first pack of cards and
I'm
stuff,
probably
you're
gonna
like,
I'm probably gonna get into it for sure.
give us so you got to have a wax wallet, right? You need a wallet because it's all digital, and so you need your wallet is just like your album, like a place where it stores all these. So whether it's our cards or it's Topps or it's Garbage Pail Kids or whatever, they're all get stored in that same wallet.
Yeah.
So that's like your album for everything. So sign up for the Wax wallet. It's easy. If you got a Google account or Twitter or Facebook,
And I'm
whatever.
putting all the stuff. You understand when people see this right now, there's gonna be stills of the NFTs. It's gonna trust me, we're plugging away. All the info is gonna be though. Don't worry about that.
So
And if you
go
need
sign up
access
for a
to
wallet
those
and
too,
give
let
us
us
your
know.
address. We'll send you a free pack. All right, Pete?
Also, I appreciate it. I did
And
have.
I'm telling you, you're gonna be sucked in.
I knew all four of you were going to be on this. I had a question about the movie for each of you that I really wanted to ask. Marty, I wanted to ask you. I've seen past interviews you've done, and you talked about how there's a lot of improv going on. Your kids, you're doing it. There were a lot of madness. I need to know, when Benny says, like, what are you laughing at? Yeah, you run like a duck, right? Was that in the script?
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Okay,
That
because
was in the
your
script.
reaction to
That
it...
wasn't improv.
Okay, no, because your reaction to that, it seemed like you were caught off guard. So that was some good acting. You knew that was coming.
Just a
Was
damn
that?
good
Are
actor.
you sure that was in their original script?
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull the script. I'm gonna go look. I'll get back. Pete, I'll get back to you on this.
Because
Okay.
your
just a damn
reaction
good
was
actor, Pete.
hilarious. Like, KK, but I'm part of the team.
Yeah, man.
That's Marty though. He's
Well-
got that magic where
He does.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Marty
I
magic.
was a loudmouth kid and I'm a loudmouth adult, and I'm just good at that part. I'm good at that kind of a role.
Now, Grant, you are in, like, it's weird because, you know, my sister and I, we grew up with this movie. I'm really, like, I can't believe I'm able to ask you this, okay? Big Chief, the best. Why do you go Cha? Like, why is it Cha? Why, it was that, like, I just want to know. You didn't go, like, boom or, like, aha, you went Cha. Why did you go Cha?
because the director wrote it that way. And he
That
wrote it-
that wasn't the
and
script.
he wrote it in all caps with a bunch of exclamation points, and he had me scream "chaw" all night long. And the cut that he used was like take 437 when I had no voice left. And
Well, that was also like it was a really special shot because he had to like really hit it with so that they like did it over and over till, you know, David wanted it perfect.
They had a stand too for his hand. They had a stand for his hand. I remember.
Yeah,
Didn't they? They had like a.
Oh, so good.
see, if we had made that movie today, it would have been all CGI, and I would have just held my hand up in front of the camera, and it would have been the perfect shot.
Mhm.
And
But
the
it was all
Timmons
practical.
It
brothers.
would have been an NFT.
Yeah, it would
It would have been an NFT card. That would have been awesome,
The
dude.
Timmons brothers at the end too.
That's the
though.
commercial right there. NFT card. You hold it up, an NFT card.
Have you was there a lot did you guys have any like group Zooms about what the what you were gonna put in the NFTs? Did that happen at all, or is it just Grant and Vic were just like, hey,
No,
Marty,
we just
hey,
asked
Shane,
them. We
this is what's gonna
we
be."
just asked them to trust us, and luckily they did.
Shane,
Yeah,
is
they're
that
like-
true?
yeah,
Can
I
you
trust
confirm?
them. No, that's
Yeah.
totally true. I have no idea what these cards. I mean, I have an idea now, but I don't know what they're all going to look like.
Yeah, so
But I know they're going to be great.
They did a great job. They did a great job. They look great.
Grant, you love this right now.
it's funny because like now that we
I'm even
closed
going to be
down,
surprised.
Shane and Marty and the guys are seeing them about 10 minutes before they go up on socials when we
Right.
send them the new stuff to post. But like, you know, the best part about this, right, is we all get to do this together. So Vic and I, because we've been talking about it, we've been pulling these photos, we've been sort of figuring out the merchandising aspect of how we do things. We had our shots kind of ready to go. And in the
Mm-hmm.
speed that we chose to do this in, because it was really important to us that we timed it, you know, with the anniversary,
Yeah.
had some great stuff. And I mean, the photos that Vic's dad, contributed, and the photos that my dad contributed are awesome. And what we're really looking forward to are the next collections now, where we can go with Shane's stuff and Marty's stuff and really be able to.
The Yeah collection is what I want to see, baby. That's what I want to see.
Coming from, from.
I want to see that.
I got some behind the scenes stuff you're gonna love, man.
There'll be some kid crane. There'll be some kid crane shots in the Marty, the Yeah collection for sure.
Face to face with the beast.
NC-17.
Yeah. You're gonna see some Basic Instinct sneaking in.
I was wondering how that.
They got us on camera.
I don't think we have any shots of that day, actually. Luckily.
I was watching.
Imagine that. That would have been awesome.
It would have been so good. And a question for
Fern Gully. We were supposed to go see Fern Gully.
Yeah, the Basic Instinct. That I feel like that was a staple. You had to say that in every interview. Like I've seen that mentioned so many times in interviews. That's why I don't ask that. Because
it's
I know
only Marty.
Story.
That's why none of us talk about it, because we just leave it for Marty. It's his favorite thing to talk about in the interviews.
Question for the Timmons brothers. I mean, the repeat aspect of it. You guys were doing this. I have to ask both of you. Did that had to get annoying that the whole movie, like you guys had to like Shane, you had to repeat it the whole time. Like what was that like? Like at one point that was kind of like, this is annoying. The whole movie I'm just repeating.
I have so much more to say than just what he says. I feel robbed. But no.
Right. I gotta say, I mean, the only annoying thing was that fact that Shane didn't have to learn any dialogue. I was like, I'm the one that had to memorize all the shit, and he could just show up on set and just say whatever I said.
Can you imagine if they had you do like in the pool scene with Chauncey, the old man, he's a deep shit. They should have had you like repeat that just come out of nowhere. Oh man, he's a deep shit. Like why did the director's cut?
I should just randomly repeat everybody, just randomly. That's what we'll do for the show. Yeah. Chaw.
It's crazy. But it's a question for all of you. I mean, Marty, it never gets old. Like you've done this movie a long time ago. Like you said, it's timeless. I mean, you've done this a long time ago. You were a kid, but it never gets old talking about this stuff, eh, Marty?
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's fun. It's like it was the best summer of our lives, and it's always fun. Every time we go on signings and things like that, we always have little adventures, and we did a lot of fun stuff that summer, and it's definitely always fun to talk about. And hopefully we can do something on the big screen again one day. That's what we want to do.
You never know. It could happen.
It could.
I wanted to thank you all for coming on the show. It really means a lot. I know it's been crazy with the NFTs right now. It's really awesome. Grant, it's your time right now. Plug the crap out of this. I need to know everything. I need to know where I can get these. I need to know all the links that I can put. Like, plug away, man. Marty's counting on you here, man.
Cool.
Yeah.
We honestly tried to keep this as simple as possible. Go to boysofsummer.cards. All you have to do is sign up for a Wax wallet. So it's a one-click thing. You can connect your Google account, your Facebook account, your Twitter account to create your wallet real quick, and our website does the rest. So you can buy it with USD, put it on a Visa, MasterCard. Super easy. You don't have to have any cryptocurrency to buy it whatsoever. Pretty much one-click shopping on boysofsummer.cards.
Absolutely. And very quickly, Grant, I know you have social media now because I think you gotta like promote these things, but like where can people follow you on social media to keep up with Dan? It's Boys of Summer on Instagram too, right?
Yeah, it's at Boys of Summer on Instagram, and I believe it's Boys of Summer 92 on Twitter. Which we just launched there. And we've got a Boys of Summer Baseball Club on YouTube. We've been posting some instructional videos and stuff like that on YouTube, and we'll be sharing them. We want to make sure that we can educate folks because NFTs can be scary, but this is not that.
And follow Grant at Lost in the 60s on Instagram.
Amazing. Vic, where can they follow you on Instagram?
I'm at Victor DiMattia, and I'm on Twitter and Facebook and all that, just Victor DiMattia.
Shane, what about you?
Shane Obedzinski on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. No Facebook for me.
All right. And Marty?
Marty_York.
Amazing. Simple. Seriously, guys, I got to say, I grew up with this movie. I went through tough times, with bullying and a lot of stuff growing up. And this movie was my escape. And I just wanted to say thank you guys. Seriously. I know you hear this a lot, but these movies helped me through a lot of times. So I just wanted to thank you for that. Seriously, guys.
Hey, that's awesome, man. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative. All the information about the Sandlot Boys of Summer NFTs are going to be available in the description. Go buy a pack. It's awesome. The nostalgia is just going to ooze all over the place. And until next time, this is Grant, Marty, Shane, Vic, and Petey Beats signing off. Cha.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.